Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
The trial between Elon Musk and Twitter starts in October. The courtroom will be packed with people, and those are just Elon's kids. A new app lets pregnant women watch their babies grow in the womb. I won't go into details about where you have to stick your smartphone. The Dallas Cowboys will wear throwback helmets on Thanksgiving Day. Jerry Jones will do his part by wearing his original face.
Prospector ruins everything, even the news. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
For some odd reason, every video you see of Bigfoot, every picture is always blurry and inconclusive. I wonder why that would be. Well, now here's the audio equivalent of that. Good morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector. A woman in rural Ohio thinks she captured the howls, or possibly the mating call, of Bigfoot. Using a recorder she constantly leaves running in her backyard. Her name is Suzanne Farinack, and she's a Bigfoot enthusiast. Yeah, shocking, right? For years, she claims she even saw him walk across a road back in 2013. So she's been searching for Bigfoot ever since, hence the leaving of a recorder in her backyard that's always recording. She lives halfway between Cleveland and Columbus. So who knew Bigfoot was a Buckeye? And her recording definitely sounds like something howling. Now, a group of wildlife experts say it was just an alpha male coyote calling out to its pack, which obviously makes that all much less exciting. But for a lot of Sasquatch fans, it's the real deal. Let me think about this. Wildlife experts or people actively rooting for some bizarre missing link creature? Who do I believe? Oh, right, yeah. I'll go with the learned individuals who spent their life studying animals and wildlife and not some half-a-nut job.
Pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A 4-H auction in Indiana is in the news after more than 100 people, including business owners, pooled their money to help a family out. A 10-year-old named Hudson Duttlinger was selling a pig, and Hudson's mom has been fighting colon cancer. So people ran up the bidding, and the pig sold for $102,000. Normally, it would have brought in around $600.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
It's time to have a little fun on the phones. Good morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and I got an email from a woman who is an HR director for a big real estate company. Her name's Angeline, and she said, "Hey, Prospector, I would love for you to prank call a guy who works at our office. The office is like administrator. His name is Brian, and maybe you can come up with an idea." So I came up with the idea that we'd like to use this conference room to record our podcast, and ostensibly he could be a guest on the podcast, but it's really not going to work that way. It's another Prospector Prank Call.
Hi, Realty Group. This is Brian.
Yeah, hi, Brian. My name's Rick. I wanted to talk to you quick if you have a second. You're the office administrator, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know what we're doing. I have a podcast called Beards and Bro, and me and my guys wanted to invite you to be a part of our podcast on our next episode. And if, is that something you're allowed to do?
I think so. Yeah. What does it entail, really?
All you have to do is sit in with us, just provide your hot take on, topics of the day. We really don't do politics, but other than that, it's kind of wide open. We'll set up. We can even come to you, as a matter of fact. If you'd like, we can come down there. Yeah. Do you have like a conference room or something like that?
Yeah, we have a conference room.
Great. It'd take about 2 hours. We come down, we set up, get all the mics up and all that, do about an hour podcast, then tear everything down and put it back away. Kind of sit around, discuss the topics of the days. It's Beards and Bro, and it's real simple, quick guy stuff. How big is your conference room? How many chairs?
It's 10 chairs and around the table, and then there's a couple of extra chairs in the room.
Okay, yeah. Our group has 14, so with you there'd be 15. So we need to be able to sit 15 for the podcast.
15, really?
Yeah, 15 people on the podcast.
Well, will you be the one interviewing me?
Well, not interviewing you. I mean, I'm the one that hosts, but you just jump in with your hot takes. You know, it's like, hey, Brian's got a thought. And then you just pop in and do something really good. And the more you have a good hot take, the more you get to talk. It's really, it's kind of like,
it seems with 14 people that I'm not really going to be on it. I mean, it just sounds like...
Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what we'll do. Do you guys have coffee there?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Reserve the conference room. Get the chairs. Grab some coffee, have it available, maybe pick up some donuts or pastries or sandwiches or something and set all that up.
Wait, I have to pick up the donuts and the pastries?
Yeah, well, you can pick up whatever you want. It doesn't have to be donuts, but, just something for the guys to eat while we're there, something to snack on. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It sounds like you want me to provide all the food and coffee, and I'm not even going to be on it. You just want my conference room.
You're going to be on it just as much as you want. Look. Do you want us to make you famous or not? Because it sounds like...
I've never even heard of your podcast. I appreciate the phone call, but honestly, it sounds like you just want me to provide food for your podcast, basically. I mean, that's really what you want.
Is that so? Oh, so your business, the margins are so thin that you can barely afford donuts. Is that it?
No, it's not the issue.
Okay.
The issue is that, you guys are just coming in to use my conference room and pretending like I'm a guest on the podcast when
I'm sorry, are you not a guest on the podcast?
Well, I mean, 14 people? I mean, how am I going to...
Look, if you stink, no one's going to hear you, okay? If you have a hot take, if you're good, you're going to get on, all right? Look, I can't put diapers on you and rub your back through the podcast. You got to strap it on. You got to be a man about it.
Excuse me? You know what? You're being a real...
Oh, really? I am, right? You're the one that won't buy donuts to get famous on a podcast.
I'm not going to buy you donuts, okay?
Oh, really? That prevents you from being on a podcast?
We're not a donut shop.
You're obviously not doing that well at real estate, or you can afford some donuts. Good Lord. Working for you has got to be like a nightmare, man. Thank goodness.
You know what? You're being a okay?
I know you said that. I know.
I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me.
How about this? You just sit in your office and make prank calls all day.
What are you even talking about? You're not even making sense right now.
I am. It's a prank call. It's Prospector Prank Call, man. It's not real.
Who is this?
Brian, it's Prospector. You're on Rock 107 right now, dude. It's a prank call. Not real. I don't have a podcast, Beers and Bros, nothing like that.
Oh, my goodness.
Angeline, the lady that does HR, emailed us your name and phone number and said we could try to call you and use your conference room for free.
Evangeline, this is hilarious.
All right, listen, you're not mad, right?
No, this is... Woo! I'm going to have a talk with her, though.
Look, and just so you know, I might need to make some more calls later, so if you don't mind, could you get that conference room set aside for me? I'd appreciate it, dude.
Come on, man.
Oh, they're going at it like dogs. Good morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector. And did you see on the Times Tribune the other day, Debbie Dominic, Lackawanna County Commissioner, denies deleting her record. Commissioner Chris Shermack says if the fellow commissioner was involved in any way, she needs to resign from her post. They started barking at each other in the meetings, and he said he comes in every day, and she's like, just because you're in early doesn't mean you do any work. It got heated. In fact, I was lucky enough to be there and recording the meeting. So here, exclusive audio from the Lackawanna County Commissioners Meeting. Yeah, they're going at it like dogs.
What's a Yambag? A fool, an idiot, a blockhead, a dunce, or an ignoramus. You know, a dullard, simpleton, or a clot, nitwit, dipstick, pea-brain, mouth breather, or cretin.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yambag of the day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
Here are the nominees. Nominee number 1.
This is some MacGyver-level crime right here. Last month, inmates at a jail in Wichita, Kansas, got caught smuggling drugs in through a hole they somehow made in a reinforced plastic window. Officials weren't sure how they managed it, but now they know. One of the inmates softened up the plastic using a hemorrhoid cream. Yeah, he agreed to tell them how he did it if they moved him to a different prison, so they haven't revealed his name. He said he smeared the window with the hemorrhoid cream, then took a lighter to it for 3.5 hours or so to soften up the plastic. Once it was soft enough, he used a drain pipe from a sink to punch a hole through the window. Then they made a rope from torn fabric, pushed it through the hole, had someone outside tie a sock filled with contraband, and they pulled it back in. Obviously, the inmates are in trouble, but the biggest revelation was a 22-year-old prison guard caught them in the act and didn't say anything, so now he's facing jail time himself.
Nominee number 2.
There was one major problem with her revenge scheme. A North Carolina woman was hoping to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend by burning down his house. 49-year-old Christy Louise Jones set fire to a house and apparently blocked the garden hose with a sealant to sabotage any attempt to put out the flames. Armed with a rifle, the homeowner emerged from the property in the early morning after a neighbor noticed flames on his front porch. He saw the woman standing beside a car mumble something before getting in and driving away. Now, Jones was charged with assault after she allegedly brushed the victim with her car. Here's the kicker. It was the wrong house. Yeah, she set fire to the wrong place. Jones has been charged with arson and assault with a deadly weapon after allegedly causing $20,000 worth of damage to the home.
And the winner is
the woman who tried to exact revenge on her ex, but burned down the wrong house. Are you kidding me? You don't check to be sure before you start doing this? You are the Yambag of the day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yambag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yambag of the Day on Rock 107. Crime Cuts Podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.